Have you ever fired a gun like that before in the ROTC training? No? Have you ever fired a gun like that ever with anybody? Any friends? Anybody else like that? What made you choose out of all the guns to want to buy an AR-15?
Cool looking.
Cool looking.
Court is in recess for the day in the penalty phase of the Parkland school shooter Nikolas Cruz. Testimony is scheduled to resume tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. A jury will decide whether Cruz will receive life in prison or the death penalty. The past few days have focused on the chaos inside the halls of the high school Marjorie Stoneman Douglas. But today's testimony followed Cruz after the shooting, with surveillance footage picking him up at a Subway and a McDonald's. But before shifting to Cruz's post-shooting movements, another surviving victim took the stand to testify about being shot.
At what point did you get shot?
I'm not sure exactly. I guess I didn't really realize what was happening completely, but I knew, like, I felt like I was lifting my right arm totally up like this, but then I saw that it was just like laying on the side of me, but it completely felt like I was lifting it, and that's when, like, I guess I realized that something was wrong, and I called out for, like, someone to tie something on my arm.
Okay. Do you have any problem with your arm now?
Yes.
Okay, you're maintaining your previous objection? Yes, ma'am. Okay, thank you. So noted.
Go ahead, Mr. Wickander. What kind of problem you have with your arm?
My radial nerve was damaged, and it still hasn't really grown back totally. That's why I have to wear this brace.
I want to now bring in Court TV legal correspondent Julia Janae, who was inside the courtroom today in Florida for the latest. Julia?
For the first time, this jury is getting a video version look at the Parkland shooter's conduct after that massacre and seeing footage of him being arrested. This was introduced via an officer of Coconut Creek Police Department who talked about approaching this defendant, calling his name, and confirming that he was indeed the person. And overall, this was a type of evidence that this defense objected to. Anything happening after the massacre, they argued, was irrelevant to proving the issues at hand for this jury on whether or not he deserves life or death.
As I traveled down the streets, I was just going through the residential area. I seemed to be getting further and further away from all the chaos that I had just left, and I decided to start going back. I came around the curve and I discovered a white male fitting the description walking down the sidewalk. I pulled my police vehicle over, exited my vehicle and drew my weapon, closed the door, and as I did, he turned around and looked at me, and I began to yell commands at him.
Jurors also heard from a Marjorie Stoneman Douglas student, John Wilford, who crossed paths with Cruz in McDonald's after the school was completely evacuated. The McDonald's was Cruz's second stop. He had already visited a Subway and purchased an ICEE. You see him in the video, seated calmly, purchasing that and waiting. Prosecutors claim that this evidence is relevant to the question before the jury, whether or not this was cold and calculated and premeditated in nature, highlighting the fact that he had an escape route planned.
I mean, I saw him sit down, so I just was telling him, you know, like, this is so chaotic. You know, this is crazy. All these helicopters and SWAT cars coming. Like, what do you think this could be? And I don't remember him saying much, but he was just head down, wasn't really talking to me. I don't remember much of the conversation, but I was doing most of the talking.
Okay. Did he ask you anything?
He asked me for a ride. He was pretty insistent on it, and I said no.
For the last 2 days, this jury has heard from those students who were injured, part of the indictment for attempted murder in this case, something that Cruz pled guilty to. We expect there's going to be at least one more shooting victim who is going to take the stand and testify. Those long-term injuries have been clearly presented to this jury, and we expect there's going to be more similar testimony coming from outside of the Parkland school. Reporting in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Julia Janae with Court TV.